Not even right. Surprisingly enough, prefer cold drink on hot day. Just wanted to, throw that out because why the fuck actually not? I don't even know why. It's just the realization that I'm drinking a cold drink instead of a coffee while doing this. And I was like, why actually? Oh yeah, because it's bloody freaking hot. All of a sudden. That explains it, doesn't it? Now then, don't mind me while I'm setting things up, because I had a brilliant idea for this. Now, before you sink to your knees in desperation over that statement alone, let me explain. True footage. Multi. My idea was this. I found that I wanted to play a bit of, Divinity, and I was like, exploring that city seems like a pain in the ass. It's gonna take some time and it's not going to be very much interesting, so I kinda thought I'd sneak this in here. Totally, unconceivably good and well hidden from the usual times. Then, when the next day comes around and I play it as a normal time, I can just continue with the story and stuff and doing stuff. Actually, a bit more than just running around in one place. Because I do kinda imagine people would probably get a bit bored of that. And we don't want people to get bored. Actually, that is the whole point of this exercise, isn't it? We have some fun with stuff, I suppose. I mean, if it's not fun, then why everything but even do is certainly not for the money, I would assume. Can't say I've actually no, this has actually motivated me to spend money on the other end. Because then I feel like, I should get games that are looking interesting. Even more so than I usually do, mind you. Now then, let's change things around like this. And finish a little exploration of this nice little city. Because I think before we continue with the main story, we shall do precisely that. To look around a bit more, finish all the exploration stuff, and then when people are very much happy-peppy.
Now, Alistair, surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than saffrons, I dare say.
Well, he makes a very interesting point there. I do like this what they created here. Which actually brings me to the point that I actually wanted to talk about and why I started playing these games again to remind me of. You see, I have always been a bit confused. They're in studios, They're not bad guys, mind you. Generally speaking. They've actually created a rather interesting world. Maybe a bit, a bit fake here and there, but that's part of the charm, actually. So I'm sitting here like, I wonder. Why would you then do something as, generally unpleasant as taking another one's IP and mess around with that? Because, your own unique style is going to shine through. Obviously, it will. And what that means is that we now get something very interesting, which is basically a...
Let's see. Key, lockpick, or hammer?
Hammer is not an option. Sorry to say, my friend.
What's this? I found something.
Oh, that's good. Just say, because my experience from,
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this.
We and our shovels will do as we please.
We and our shovels will do as we please.
That's right. Let's get digging.
As you prepare to break ground, you gaze.
All right, time to get digging.
Here's hoping we find something worthwhile.
You plunge your shovel into the earth.
And we get death. Is that all we're gonna get from this? Well then, game, let me prove to you my point about the player being the one with the longest and hardest. I have the option to fucking load my game. What say you now? It's like it never happened, isn't it? Ah, nice and easy. That. Do kind of need to play around with the audio a bit.
Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence.
Hello.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
Fascinating story, bro. Fascinating story.
Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence.
I hear some people go like, I'm suffering. So either they're suffering very much.
Anybody?
Was it
Neither of you
Jin?
cares to plead for his very
Oh, a source
Yes,
hunter.
yes.
Imagine that.
Imagine
Quite
the
a bit more
surprise.
petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves.
That's an interesting way to remember people's.
But, no matter.
Well.
Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Yeah?
Say, do you have any work for a trio of sailors?
Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of medicine. Unless one of them happens to have a secret stash of healing stones.
Well, I kinda don't think so.
Why, I'm more than a little surprised it was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue.
That's surprisingly much.
Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Sicile of late.
Well, practice had some
yes.
success.
If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of her, she's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration.
Yeah. Can you elaborate?
She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silver Glen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silver Glen to learn the truth myself.
Interesting,
Well,
interesting.
she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to... I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right. Certainly, what would you like to know?
So, do you know anything about Jake's murder?
The counsellor, terrible loss that. Though we were hardly more... From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs I've applied myself to that
Anything
problem
about
for
your
2
nerd?
years and still haven't. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be...
No, you actually make a good point.
Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Well, surprising for a bloody source.
Cares to plead for his very existence.
And,
Excuse me, this is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way?
A future doctor, I would presume.
I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. But perhaps it's better off in the hands
Well,
of an
then
esteemed
tell me
source
more about
hunter.
your patients.
What would you like to know?
Well, tell me about Boris.
One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead.
Okay,
But not
and
quite
Stephen?
the venerable staple of Sicile, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less.
Well, shit.
Nearly everyone in Sicile is familiar with grinning Stephen, and as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family.
I'd imagine so.
You are? Ah, I thank you a million.
Well, Boris' life has just begun, you know.
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now.
Yes.
See?
Boris deserves to experience all the pleasures of life that Stephen has already enjoyed.
Yeah, make it easy.
Boris it is? Yes. I'll deliver the stone.
I hate to point that out, but you know.
No, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning.
Sorry, friend. I wish that...
Ouch. What hit me? Why did it hit me?
What? What happened?
Right, a
Is
literal
this a
trick
dream?
am I...
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
It quite literally did send us flying. I just wanted to explore a little bit. Why the fuck did it send me into the freaking stars?
Terrible, terrible, terrible! It will consume us all!
Ew, a bit of a negative person.
By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? Two Rivalonians here?
Indeed.
At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious!
So, who are you and how the frick did I get here?
Yes. Proper introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was and is and hopefully all that is to be.
That sounds like a pain in the ass job. And also lots of writing.
As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Impressive.
How you got here, though? That's a rather more interesting question.
No, not really actually. I just, you know, decided on a man's life. Bam, stone, bam, here. Easy as that. 1, 2, 3, my friend.
Rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time. I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow.
Why is this place as you say? Shrinking.
Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart, time ought naturally to have no end at all.
Well,
Indeed, I can
that's
think of
debatable,
no
isn't it?
worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly
Out with it,
terrible
Shrimp. What
has
exactly has happened here?
Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer.
Sure. What can we see? What the fuck is that? It's a dragon, isn't it?
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's...
It's activating.
The portal has become active. Fantastic. Astounding. Onward we should go.
Any more interesting things apart from, you know, the bloody dragon, who apparently has a lot of fun flying around, like, yay! Come on. Looks like he loves fun. Can't take that from him now, can you?
The portal. It's quite sprung to life, just like the... You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something of those torches, a light. This portal active once more.
So, can we first discuss
It
what we
cannot
just
be.
saw there?
Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I nearly forgot it is the void itself. The dragon. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this.
Oh, shit.
It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it
So,
will devour the past.
I believe there's someone connected here, eh?
It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes.
Yeah, he should probably know at least what a bloody freaking pattern is, I suppose. So that what lies beyond this very obnoxious portal.
Ah, though I cannot say for certain. If it is what I believe, then our every last question that ever plagued your noggin might well But why spoil the mystery? As soon as
Jesus Christ, man, just tell me.
Oh, what one.
I was like when they are like, oh no, let me not spoil it. You go first. Well, screw you, bastard.
Onward.
Yes, I can't stop him.
Just as I hoped. There she is. There it is.
Well, whatever it
And
is.
he's off.
It seems the Emperor spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
So many inactive portals. But not much to plunder here. Ah, that's a bit sad. That is saddening me quite a bit. What's a man supposed to do without all the loot? How is he to survive in this strange world? Ever more portals. Yet all inactive, which is fun. Dandy, I suppose. It just too looks like even more portals. How many bloody portals are around here? Nice. Well, apparently there exists quite literally nothing at the end of time. Kinda boring if you ask me. Well, I guess we found at least something.
The last chest, the last chest, the last chest!
Nice.
If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each, you'll discover how to open me!
That sounds like a very convoluted way to get a date. Or rather, to get your date in bed, to put it mildly. But oh well.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of
Milady.
time? Mother of history? Author of all that has ever been?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Yeah, he's a bit of a simp, isn't he? Just sitting there.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
I kind of feared that would be the case, yeah.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
Well, don't worry about it. Surely I'm not
My
strange.
reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane?
Oh, that was a stone, you know. A strange stone and it zapped
A
me.
stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great
Yes, that's
shock
just what
of
happened. So,
energy that
have you seen
disappeared.
something like this before?
Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work.
Well, that is good and bad, I suppose.
Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not
bloody hell.
seen, had not expected, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. Source
That is
hunters.
interesting.
It would seem that yourselves
Yeah,
and
apparently
Starstone
not existing.
are inextricably linked. Why and how I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones, Starstone,
sorry.
is not what it seems, Source Hunter. It's true. Do you see what violence my work has suffered?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new...
I see.
Yes. Though I cannot explain why.
Yeah,
If
that's
we
very
do not
interesting.
restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all.
Well, if they scan, he has to be, should probably do it, otherwise, you know, would be a problem.
Indeed you must. Though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you
cool.
alone can unlock the powers.
It's nice to be protagonist of a story, isn't it?
Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be...
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more...
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Just a bit, you know? Small one. Very small one.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First, we please.
So far, so good, but you're not gonna do this yourself, are you?
Are you ready? Are you willing? So, what do you think, Source Hunter?
Not but a moment ago we were hunting Source in Rivellon.
Indeed.
And now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
Well, evidence would be pretty nice.
Say what Zigzags and the Weaver will. I need more evidence before I'll buy into this wild tale.
Spot on. Praise be that we at least are still capable of rational thinking. We seem to be the only ones in the insane asylum at the end of bloody time.
I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge.
The pragmatism rules. It's a good club. Spoon. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna take some stuff with me.
Come. I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge.
I will not come. I will come if I desire, so... Also, it takes a bit more stimulation, but I think I'm losing track here.
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem.
So, please tell me about yourself.
Ethereal threads of eternity. Do I recall the drift of continents through changing seas?
Fascinating.
It seems. Ask, and I shall...
Who are you really?
I am, but what... Perhaps we are... Am I the beginning? And am I to... Alas, a hidden answer. I believe that starstones will not... Oh, Hunter. I have no need for company. Like I have no need for... And
interesting.
I do enjoy your companionship. For you may prove to become...
I find security. I'm not at all featured on the Canvas of Time, which is a, shame, considering who I am.
Your absence. It should be an impossible... I do not know you, but perchance I may be cured of this... What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. I reside in another realm altogether. I think that perhaps you can redeem time. Know that no longer...
I don't think I create time, actually. I don't just think I'm just a part of it. Okay, sure.
Watched on as the void phrased the fabric of time like a terrified god. But suddenly there was you. New threads emerged. These stars...
Fascinating indeed.
The in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old Rivellon. Not just yet.
The point is, if you give up on the very plane of existence you exist in, it's gonna be a pain in the ass because you're gonna disappear.
No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust these days.
He's making a good point, actually.
Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely,
how is it even possible?
Hope to fade in the void. I honestly don't know. But ask her.
Like
let's chance. Let's just start looking. Yeah, always a good start.
Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide just like yourselves. Starstones are cute. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago.
I see.
Caves, the lairs of long forgotten.
So, related? Okay, he doesn't know.
More than implies that you are the void's natural enemy. It is you who is setting new events.
Of course I am. I'm creating stuff all day, all night, every day.
We may not understand the how yet, but our aim... Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age, but of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to gather those stars. Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the... Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to... Before you go, I hope he'll be able
That's a
to
pain
help
in the
you
ass.
as
Imagine.
much as he
You're like,
can.
I really want to talk about this, but the last person I knew about this died 7,000 years ago. Well, shit.
Is all
You're sitting there like, yeah. Use the rift travel button to travel any waypoint. Yeah, that's nice. Nice little Marble. Sisal, North Strait. Sisal, Tranquil Beach. The end of time.
two of us. Two beings that record all of history
Mm-hmm.
parallel to one another.
That is a good question.
Well then, so this is how I can get here. And everything else is activated anyway, so I guess we can now teleport back. Yeah, that's precisely what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to start a bloody story.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to
Well,
the realm of Rivellon
hello.
after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm.
Yeah, you know.
I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon.
He has
and
not.
That agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand.
So,
Starstone.
what advice
And
you
I'll
have?
be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my... It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul... That means the task you
That's
have
interesting.
been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for your
How did you even
bound to
learn that he was a
stumble upon
freaking Starstone collector?
While you were being lectured by our friend the historian, the advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed, but perhaps
Yeah,
I
also a
speak
drink.
only for myself. Not for veterans such as yourselves, that like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such... Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen with... I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I lay.
So
I
how
met
did
him
you even
first,
become an
a
agent
long
of that?
time
I
ago,
mean, that's a
out
good
on
question,
the
isn't
wastes
it?
of youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. Oh, before you go, here. Take this teleporter pyramid. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have missed. Now that this matter has been settled, Hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of...
And of course, we are going to just assume that he's going to do it as a cat. Are you seriously saying me that you want to pick up the well? Good for me that he didn't actually try to bloody pick up the whole well. That would have been a bit, you know, cumbersome. Just a little bit. Sometimes, you know. Sometimes game doesn't make it clear. Well, to be fair though, this was a bit more on the storyline than I actually had intended to go for. I guess... Oh, I can already see my teleporter pyramid. And I can see a woman taking a bath. I can faintly remember how this is going to play out. Let's just say she's not going to be very much pleased once we teleport in there. I mean, surprising, isn't it?
Don't scuttle away before you've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you like? 3? 11?
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
No better
First
solution to the
things
zombie
first.
problem than a set of silver arrows.
Actually, no, let's keep it for the moment. Might actually find something useful for that. I mean, there are still more companions around, and we would of course like to get our hands on some.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Watch the undead quiver in
Holy
their
hand
moldy
grenade.
boots.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Come on, come on.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for...
Oh, reasonably nice, yeah.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want?
Who's sick?
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
You don't borrow fish.
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear!
Oh, are you in the habit of stealing?
I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal.
Well,
Oh, my story's
who
tired
the
by
frick
now.
are you?
I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't... So what do you think? Should I...
Batch is only hours from the sea.
Watch
Now, the
undead
merchant
quiver
has to
in
eat
their
too.
moldy
Dick
boots.
Polish.
Merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish? This man should learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
I suppose you've got a point.
If
Hungry
you're-
man, you know.
If you're bloody starving so much, why don't you...
7 grand to...
That thief is free for now.
Hmm.
But I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path. Thank you for making that would-be thief see reason. I only hope...
See, I mean, I get it. He's hungry, yes. It's still probably on the longer path. The life path, basically. More prosperous for him to actually learn how to bloody fucking fish. Because, you know, as I was saying about, you know, give a man a fish and he's, you know, sated for a bloody day. But teach
To what
him...
do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter?
Teach him how to fish and, you know...
The world belongs to the young, they say, and Boris will live to take his piece. Certainly, what would you like to know?
And he will sate his hunger for bloody there. Not surprising when you think about it. Really not.
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the heal, that strange reaction you caused, blue lightning from a healing stone. I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different. I've been studying under Thelera. I've a passion.
I mean, you know, it's nice that I have the option, but again, I don't want to start my career as a petty thief. I mean, at least not now. Or now, at least. Let's put it like this here. Mostly because I honestly don't see the reason. Yet, that is. We might at some point in the near future have reason though. Who knows, who knows. Original spare key, you see. Now, who is original? Then why do I have a spare key? Is this here original's apartment? It's part of the clinic, isn't it?
Today, I think, a king.
Chinese clinic, yes, we're all there.
Rainbow of war machines. It is said, this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elva, who knew...
I hear people going like blah, 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 in the background. Well, since we don't know which key, which door this key belongs to, that does make a lot more sense than the other way around. We are sitting here and going like, okay, that was a lot easier than I had thought. Orange juice, nice. I just had some.
Nothing but rubbish.
Just had some of that myself. Just this morning, you know. I can steal his
I guess
pillows.
someone else got here first.
You see, if you're not a complete idiot, you kinda end up being like, ah, that looks suspicious. Regional dairy, see? Also, you have a fucking assload of juggling stuff. Juggling mace.
I was really hoping to find something better.
Big arrows. I mean, he seems to be a man of his inspiration. If juggling is his thing, that is. I mean, that's okay. Let's have your diary now, don't I? What does your diary say? Trip down to the beach of the Black Cove, heal a wonderful treasure. A talking head. Your source, but not gonna see the be the produce of dark magic. It insists his name is Nick, but I think I call it Stefan. Now there's a name Flair. Show me about it. Nakavit Curio knows the story or two already. In what a voice, Mesha will be the most prophet in the fair. I fairly well joy when I think of the sad look on Cedric's face.
Oh, thank heavens. Maybe now you can learn something useful, like how to wash your underthings.
Yeah, voice.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
I suppose your example has inspired me to reach heights I never before envisioned.
That inspiration hardly flows one way, my friend.
Getting all flirty there. Basically with myself. Kinda strange, isn't it? Now then, we know about that. We know about that. Now then, this is the rest of the market, I'd say. So then up here's the home of Esmeralda, which we weren't yet. Just a citizen. A Berkshire.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper. We're finally getting a hand. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd.
Ogget, a
I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced.
Oh, you're still cheap.
Oh, Ogget, you're rotten to the bone. Oh, me poor, sweet, plump girl. You've been wasted entirely. All that roast, all the mutton, not even the sausage grinder will want her now. Give her here, will ya? Me little mouldering darling. Sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hand with the... Now that the herd's gone, old Birch... Sheep's cheese, tomatoes...
You don't mind me going through this now, would you? Because, you know, there's actually some warfare stuff in there. Sometimes. Well.
Hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no? I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer. I travel around.
Yeah, you also have treasure maps in your inventory. I saw those.
Bloody undead! Remember above all to stay beyond.
Club if you got an eye for fun.
Oh, hello, love.
Well, what sort of...
Okay, so...
What are ye staring at? Some poor chaps lost their ship and want some work? Just send him to me and tell him there's a bit of coin. Captain Jack's the name. Go, Scally.
Nice. We actually found somebody who would be willing to give those poor sods some work.
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce.
Ever produced, you say? Now, Esmeralda is part of the investigation we are supposed to do. So why aren't we going to avoid that for now and instead going down here to where that nonsense is happening?
You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a seven head.
By the seven!
Step right up! You there! Take a seat. Prepare to laugh your head off. Cry your eyes out. And teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan, the talking severed head.
Tell me what you said.
I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andervale.
Yeah, we heard about it.
Talking head.
Let us talk about this head.
What tall tales you've heard about Stefan's origins. Try to do something about it if you dare. The fair's
We can hardly walk.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autograph.
Tell me about yourself, my little chocolate.
I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sicile. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered.
We will have none of that, you hear? Bravo!
My word!
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, it won't be the worst.
That is enough of that now.
And let me guess, if I continue, this is going to end up very bad. We'll continue though.
Do, re, mi, fa. It won't be the worst.
What? Has the ground turned to glue when you've been naughty?
I think a king, the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known
Well, I am royally pissed everybody off.
the king had a great thirst.
Let's not do it like this then. This seems to be a very bad idea. So how am I going to steal that?
Tricks are for kids. This here is the greatest illusion.
Doesn't seem like I can just start sneaking.
Today, I think, a king, the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great
I
thirst.
will point out that sneaking doesn't work. Oh well.
Creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm.
Not that hard, not that hard.
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! You're
Oh no, yes matter.
Katerina's fair. Well, I'm Katerina the Fair. Fairest I've an open stage in want of talent, and
Okay,
the
open
theatre's
stage.
fever has overcome you, has it? Check the library and see it right away, my dear, just as fast as your boots can carry you. Speak to Master Chaucer if you're...
You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Yo boy.
And who are you supposed to be?
I can find material.
Have an impressive library here in Sicile. I'm sure that beast of a librarian could rustle something up for you. Katerina's given the go. Tell me when you're ready to be ready for your trial by fire, you mean. And I'd like to be the king of Stormfist, but I haven't got the credentials, have I? Come back when you've found some...
Okay, sure. No reason to get all pissy about it.
You there! Sit! Stay a while! Right in front. Don't pity me. No, sir. Just a few years ago, when Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, even when there's
Well,
no
that's kind of
crowd
upsetting,
to
isn't it?
speak of. Old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between.
I'm not really interested in hearing much more about your rusty handkerchief, my friend, but lovely story you're telling, a lovely story.
One coin or two, noble spirit? One coin or two?
Tell me about yourself.
I am a happy man, and certainly a humble one now. It turns
Oh.
out a fool once was I, and ever seeking greater satisfaction than that which I already enjoyed. In my folly, I sought the counsel of those notorious Watcher statues on
Tell
the
me
Western
more
Plain.
about
I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fools advice to the fools who sought them, but they told me that I would find fame and renown if I renounced my worldly possessions. All my worldly fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt no elevation, no piety, only the sudden...
Yeah.
So, those statues told him he'd have to renounce his earthly possessions to become a spiritual leader, did they?
Absurd. Since when is poverty a prerequisite of spirituality?
Yeah, just look at the church. They,
Have some pity.
you know.
Right. I'm not going to throw my things on a pyre in the hope that the stench of my burning trousers will please an ill-defined spirit.
I don't know why you would burn your trousers first, but you know. Well, I guess. Each their own. Yes. Also, these statues, these Witcher statues, they seem to have, you know, a bit of a sense of humor. Apparently. Actually looking forward to meeting them. No. That's it. Yeah, it seemed to be... Okay.
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Those boots are him drink and gamble. That's all we do around it.
It sounds like a pretty damn happy job, if you ask me. Drink and gamble.
Not as bad as all that.
I'm actually thinking about joining the Legion, if at all possible. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal, generally speaking. Now then, this another exit.
Welcome back to Seal Hunter. The Legion greets you.
Well, I haven't really been gone, so doesn't really feel like much, but yeah, well, it's always nice to get greeted. Now my only problem is, how the hell am I supposed to steal that bloody hat? Actually, do I have a quest for it?
My word!
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow...
What's that nut? This show is...
Don't ask. What's
Eh?
that nutter in the back hollering about? I can...
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front.
Well,
I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show I've ever seen. I'm amazed.
That's just a bit much.
Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice happens to carry pretty far. Well, drawing a crowd's what I do best, and I'd be glad to do it for your little show. 100 gold up front, and yours will be the hottest ticket. You're lost, buddy.
I will do so. I will do so in the future.
Back for more, I see. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. What with Stefan Rat... Ha! Yes, enter! Are you impressed by my prowess in the arts of entertainment? Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And that crowd warmer, I think you've gotten quite familiar enough by now, thanks. Keep your...
Oh, God damn it.
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Fantastic.
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew
Interesting.
Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself.
Too much. There's too much going on for me to sneak by.
So ardently did he crave crave creamy blues and gory reds. That he ordered a contest.
Well, I guess we can move a bit closer because there was actually someone sitting around in that cave, and that is, if I remember right, a companion. Let us collect that one then. Seems to be a nice act, and also then we have finished pretty much all the not directly involved in main quest stuff, things in the city.
Ice blue eyes, narrow beneath a heavy brow streaked with sweat and dust. Her hands tense into claws, held at the ready.
I wonder who you are.
Knits together, but something in her. I am Bear Daughter. I have not come here to find trouble with the Screech woman. She only startled me. And you are a source hunter.
How did you end up there?
Here, the one who now plots her revenge. She crept behind me while I was hunting, and I only defended myself. I would not hurt an innocent Screech woman on purpose.
Why is she a Screech woman, though?
Soon their swords were upon me, and they forced me into this cage meant for dogs. Mother would.
Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Well, you look a bit horrible.
That's the source hunter you're talking
A curious situation you have indeed here. So, what about that woman in the case?
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal.
You don't look much better, you know?
Strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
You kinda deserve it, don't
Tell
you?
you right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
What become of this admittedly strange stranger?
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever.
About face!
Perhaps it'd be worth taking this stranger under our wing. She'll likely come in handy, if we can trust her to watch our backs.
After all, a fearless hunter might prove quite useful for our investigation.
Everything that can become part of my team is going to become part of my team, because that's just how I am.
That's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
To the buttocks! Nuts!
Heed me, source hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
You say you will take me under your wing, but I see no feathers. Are you a child of the birds, as I am of the bears?
Yeah, I mean, you know, but it's just a saying.
In truth, this is a relief. Your world is made with rules I have not yet memorized.
So, what does that mean, you know?
And so the lonely babe was fed upon the wild mother's milk, and cast aside from humankind. He thrived among his mother's ilk. So says the saga of the wise godwolf Amira, raised the child Threes among her litter. So you see, I have good company. Threes the wolfson, and I the bear daughter.
Well, then,
Ask
questions.
freely, my friend.
Oh, you raised the bears, eh? In the
Your
wilds?
city is far more wild than Home Forest. In Home Forest, the rules are clear. A tiny Screech woman, no swifter than a mudworm, might confine you into a tiny cage, and one must wait for a kind stranger to grant freedom.
So, how did you come to learn to speak?
Jarrett, wise Jarrett, taught me the bird songs of our people. If not for him, I would never have learned more than the beast. A beast's life is to survive. A human's is to know.
That seems quite
I am both beast and human, and so I
pretty
must
conundrum, isn't it? Sure. Very interesting history. I mean, I like
have
it.
learned all the bird song that Jarrett could teach. I remembered every word. The remembering of the beasts is without lies. We know not to approach the wasp's nest because long ago one bear mother discovered its dangers. This she taught to her cubs, and those we do not remember Rito and the battle of the buzzing brutes. We remember only what is useful to us now. Rito will be forgotten, It is
Yeah,
different
somewhat.
between beasts and humans. I am lucky to enjoy
Well then,
both
tell me more
ways.
about the
He
Jared
came
guy.
to me when I was small. A fierce,
Mhm.
wild one, yet unaware of the difference between the other cubs and herself. He called to me in a soft song. At first I thought him a great bird. Jared visited me often, and in time I learned his songs and more. When he built a small cabin within Home Forest, I hunted his food and fetched his water by. Jared is my master and my friend.
That's
my
pretty
teacher and
nice.
myself.
So,
He teaches
why
me
the hell
and
did
I
you
care
didn't
for
even
him.
come to Sicily
I
then?
heard this was a place of many people, so here I came. But I have not found the face I seek. Jared is missing.
Okay, that's why you're
It
here.
is my duty to find him.
Well
that
then.
mystery is thick and ugly as a swarm of hornets. It started with a great disturbance in Home Forest. A terrible disease came in the night and turned the bird. I watched
Oh, shit.
countless of my loved ones die, rotted from the inside. When I ran to Jarrett to tell him what I had the next morning, Jarrett did not emerge from his room. I left him be, but after 3 days I grew anxious. I broke down the door, and inside his chamber he was kidnapped, and all his research was taken with him. The only clue I found was a letter among the scraps. I could not make out all the words, but I recognized the threat. Death, coming for you. And the signature? Attenborough. I do not know the one called Attenborough, but I know that if I am to find Jarrett, I must start there. Whoever this Attenborough may be, I believe he or she may know where.
Well, we can deal with that.
Source Hunter. I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. In Home Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
Well, it is indeed uniquely human to be pretty much, you know, above any simple patterns.
It is difficult for me to claim humanity as you do. It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city source.
We can deal with that. I'm going to learn.
That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again.
Well then, you have, well, at least something. Actually, you have leveled up, have you? What can we teach you? You can learn more about that. You can learn more about this.
Sorry, sir.
There's a chance to receive status. That's not. Yes, but just not. Thank you. It's 3 novice, 0 adapted, 0. 5 novice, 2 adapted, 0 master skills.
That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again.
Boost initiative, damage, translating critical damage, that's also pretty nice. And set space critical strike multiplier to 240.
Sorry, sir.
You know what? Why not? Opportunities for watch. Next step up. Booty boosts non-magical attacks against opponent that are knocked down by. That's actually nice.
That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again. Those boots embarrass a bridge throw. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Attention!
Yep, no pet pale. That sounds useful. Ouch.
Recruits, that was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again.
Speed creeper. Sweep.
Embarrass a bridge throw. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, Private?
Sir, no, sir.
That's my ship.
Those boots would embarrass a bridge troll. Get to shining
Going through witchcraft. I think that we don't have any good reason to do so.
About face. To the barracks. March. Recruits. That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again.
Hot topics Imperial Mitato. No from one to the other. Delightful. Next parties will follow whoever's initiated travel. You use the pyramids while holding them. I can place or throw them on the ground and interact with them. But if you pick up a pyramid once more, you must drag it from wherever it rests into your inventory. Delightful. Powerful. Nice. Actually, I think about it. We should probably have that in one. Like this. Like this. Yeah, and this can stay here. Having a bit of clean up.
Sorry, sir.
Well, better at his bow is better, admittedly. Then we have more armor. Arrows, lots of them. Oi. Like this. This.
Sorry, sir.
This. Sort by type. And I think we have found everything, including my one little pyramid. And then other such nice things we shall, of course, keep for the next time, which is actually not far away. Open sesame. Well, you wouldn't like that. So then what is down here? Doesn't look like there's anything down here. Yeah, technically speaking, there's a legionnaire here.
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, I don't feel the need to do anything too obnoxious. Maybe to be fair, but what would be the point? Also, this shall be the point at which we will then continue the next time. I think we have done pretty much everything we can do that is not... Well, we did also some things that were related to the story, so... yeah. But I guess for the moment, this shall be it. I need to eat something and then continue with work, and we shall be back this evening actually. With of course a bit of Pillars of Eternity, which I'm actually looking forward to because that feels very much different to this one, but it's also a pretty enjoyable RPG, isn't it? Well then, with this, I shall bid you adieu. For the moment, reminds me I need to kill that freaking cat mage at some point. And yeah. Have a good one, and I'll be back.